About if we do this one?
Looks fine, no doubt.
What about if we make a map which is Pleasant Park over and over again? So it's a Fortnite sized map, but it's just Pleasant Park and tunnels and stuff. Like I reckon it could actually be kind of popular. Oh my god, this is new pace. Okay. Fucking tree in my way, bro. Oh, you just hit me, man.
The harsh glare of the overhead lights pierced through my eyelids, forcing them open. Disoriented, I gasped, my lungs struggling to draw in the stale, recycled air. The cryo chamber hissed as it depressurized, releasing me from its icy grip. My muscles screamed in protest, the familiar ache of prolonged stasis searing through my limbs.
I took it.
I pushed myself upright, my hand instinctively reaching for the scar tissue on my abdomen, a grim reminder of our last mission. Across the cryo bay, the rest of the crew were stirring. Captain Miller, his face etched with the weariness of 1,000 journeys, ran a hand through his thinning hair. Next to him, Dr. Chen, our biologist, was already checking her instruments, her brow furrowed in concentration. The rest of the crew, Ramirez, our engineer, and Kane, our security chief, were still struggling to shake off the cobwebs of hypersleep. We were a motley crew, thrown together by circumstance and bound by duty.
Status report.
Captain Miller barked, his voice raspy from disuse. Ramirez, ever the efficient one, was already at his station, his fingers dancing across the control panel.
Engines are online, Captain. Life support is nominal. We're receiving a distress signal.
His last words hung in the air, heavy with foreboding. Distress signals were never good news. They usually meant trouble, the kind that could get you killed in the cold void of space. I could see the tension etched on the faces of the crew, the unspoken question hanging in the air. We huddled around the comm station, the flickering hologram displaying a garbled message. It was a standard distress beacon repeating on a loop, but the language was unfamiliar, alien.
Can you get a fix on the source?
Captain Miller asked, his voice betraying a hint of concern. Ramirez worked his magic on the console, his fingers flying across the interface.
It's coming from a planetoid, designated as LV-426, about 2 days out at our current speed.
LV-426. The designation meant nothing to us, just another nameless rock in the vast expanse of space. But the distress signal, the unknown language, it set our teeth on edge. We were explorers, yes, but we were also survivors. We knew the risks involved in answering such calls, but we had also sworn an oath to help those in need. Dinner that night was a somber affair. The synthetic meat tasted like cardboard, and the recycled water had a metallic tang, but no one complained. We ate in silence, each of us lost in our own thoughts, the weight of the unknown pressing down on us.
The
distress signal, the alien language, the unfamiliar planetoid, it all added up to a dangerous cocktail.
We need to proceed with caution. We don't know what we're dealing with here. Ramirez, prepare a recon team. Chen, you're with me. We'll take the shuttle down and investigate.
His words, though measured, did little to ease the tension in the air.
Oh shit.
The shuttle bucked and swayed as it pierced through LV-426's thin atmosphere. The planetoid was a desolate wasteland, a tapestry of rocky outcrops and dusty plains painted in hues of gray and brown.
No signs of civilization, Captain. No cities, no structures, no life readings.
Keep scanning. There has to be something down there.
We finally located the source of the distress signal, a crashed spaceship, half buried in the side of a crater. It was a derelict hulk, its once sleek lines twisted and broken. The ship's hull was a patchwork of scorched metal and gaping holes, testimony to a violent end.
Looks like it's been here a while.
We cautiously maneuvered the shuttle closer, our searchlights cutting through the gloom. The crashed ship was eerily silent, like a tomb floating in the void.
Prepare for landing. Let's hope we find some survivors.
But deep down, I think we all knew that hope was a dangerous thing to cling to in this desolate corner of the galaxy.
Oh yeah.
The airlock of the crashed ship hissed open, revealing a dark and silent interior. Our flashlights cut through the gloom, illuminating a scene of chaos and decay. Overturned consoles sparked and sputtered, and the air was thick with the stench of decay and something else, something alien and vaguely metallic.
Fan out, stick to the walls, and watch your fire.
We moved like phantoms through the derelict vessel, our boots crunching on broken glass and twisted metal. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the hiss of our respirators and the pounding of our hearts. It was Kane who found it. He had ventured off on his own, drawn by a glint of metal in a darkened corridor.
Hey, I found something. It looks like some kind of egg.
We rushed to his side, our flashlights converging on a pulsating leathery sack nestled in a nest of wires and cables.
Careful, Kane. We don't know what that thing is.
But Kane, ever the reckless one, was already reaching out, his gloved hand hovering over the pulsating egg.
It's beautiful.
He breathed, his voice filled with a strange fascination, and then it happened. Section 5. A frantic struggle. The creature erupted from the egg with a horrifying shriek, a flurry of claws and teeth. It latched onto Kane's face, a nightmarish spider-like thing with glistening black skin and razor-sharp appendages. Kane screamed, a high-pitched, desperate sound that echoed through the derelict ship. He thrashed wildly, his hands clawing at the creature, trying to pry it loose, but it held fast, its claws digging deeper into his flesh.
Get it off him!
Captain Miller roared, raising his pulse rifle. But the creature was clinging to Kane's face, a horrifying mask of claws and teeth, making it impossible to get a clean shot. We rushed forward, a chaotic whirlwind of limbs and weapons. Chen, ever the doctor, was trying to pull the creature off, her fingers slipping on its slick, chitinous hide. Ramirez, his face pale with terror, was trying to beat it back with the butt of his rifle. The creature shrieked again, a sound that seemed to pierce our very bones and tightened its grip on Kane's face. We could hear bones crunching, flesh tearing, and Kane's screams were turning into muffled gurgling sounds.
Hold still, Kane.
Captain Miller yelled, trying to get a clear shot.
For God's sake, hold still.
But Kane was beyond reason, his body convulsing in the creature's grasp.
That's mine.
Section 6. Emergence. With a sickening crack, the creature burrowed its way into Kane's face, disappearing from view. Kane's body went limp, collapsing to the floor with a thud, the creature's entry wound a gaping, bloody mess. We stared down at our fallen comrade, a mixture of horror and disbelief etched on our faces. What had just happened? What was that thing? Before anyone could speak, Kane's body convulsed violently. He arched off the ground, his back bending at an unnatural angle, his chest heaving as if he were trying to breathe.
What's happening to him?
Chen whispered, her voice trembling. We could only watch in horrified fascination as Kane's body contorted, his bones cracking and snapping as something inside him twisted and grew. His uniform ripped and tore, stretched beyond its limits by the grotesque transformation taking place beneath. A high-pitched, keening wail filled the air, a sound of pure agony and something else, something alien and utterly inhuman. Then, with a final gut-wrenching heave, the creature emerged. It burst from Kane's chest in a shower of blood and viscera, a grotesque parody of its former host. It was a nightmarish monstrosity, its skin slick with gore, its teeth bared in a silent snarl. We stumbled back in horror, our weapons useless in the face of such primal terror. The creature, covered in Kane's blood, surveyed us with cold, reptilian eyes. It was the harbinger of our doom, a predator from beyond the stars, and we were its prey. Section 7. The hunt begins. Panic seized us, raw and primal. We scrambled back, our boots slipping on the slick metal floor, our fingers fumbling for triggers. The creature, bathed in the flickering light of the emergency strobes, seemed to relish our terror. It moved with a terrifying speed and agility, a nightmarish predator toying with its prey.
We have to kill it!
Captain Miller roared, his voice hoarse with fear and adrenaline.
Fire everything you've got!
Pulse rifles roared, spitting blinding bursts of energy. The creature shrieked, the sound bouncing off the metal walls as it darted and weaved through the hail of fire, seemingly unharmed. It moved like a phantom, a whirlwind of claws and teeth, its eyes burning with a cold, alien hunger.
It's too fast!
Ramirez screamed, his voice cracking with terror.
We can't hit it!
We were outmatched, outgunned, and out of our depth. This creature, this thing that had once been our friend and comrade, was a force of nature, a whirlwind of death that we were powerless to stop. The air filled with the acrid smell of ozone and the coppery tang of blood. We were fighting for our lives, but it was already too late. The hunt had begun, and we were the quarry. Section 8, Attrition. The creature picked us off one by one, a grim reaper stalking the corridors of the derelict spaceship. Ramirez was the first to go, dragged screaming into the shadows, his desperate cries echoing through the empty corridors. Then Chen, her medical expertise useless against the creature's raw savagery. Captain Miller, ever the brave soldier, went down fighting, his pulse rifle spitting defiance until the very end. With each fallen comrade, our hope dwindled, replaced by a bone-chilling certainty that we were going to die here, in this cold, alien tomb. The creature, slick with blood, its claws dripping with gore, seemed to grow stronger with each kill, its hunger insatiable. The metallic tang of blood filled the air, suffocating miasma that clung to our throats, choking the air from our lungs. The creature's screeches echoed through the corridors, each one a hammer blow to our sanity, a reminder of our impending doom. We were trapped in a nightmare, hunted by a creature out of our worst fears, a predator from beyond the stars that knew no mercy, no remorse, only the primal urge to kill. And as the shadows lengthened and the air grew thick with the stench of death, I knew that I was the only one left.
It's like
Really is like long-term peace control.
Section
so
9,
just telling you that,
Ripley
like, that's what I'm
Stand.
trying to do.
I was the last one left, the final act in this cosmic horror show. The creature had backed me into a corner, a dead end in this metal labyrinth. Its eyes, cold and calculating, followed my every move, its claws scraping against the metal floor,
Full box
sending
even,
sparks
so
flying.
dangerous.
I was out of ammo, out of time, and out of options. All that remained was defiance, a last desperate stand against the inevitable. I ripped a length of conduit from the wall, the metal cold and slick in my sweaty grip. It wouldn't be much, but it was all I had left.
Come on, you ugly bastard. Let's finish this.
The creature hissed, a sound like escaping steam, and lunged. I met its charge head-on, swinging the conduit with all my might. It connected with a sickening thud, but the creature barely seemed to notice. It slammed into me, its weight throwing me back against the bulkhead. I gasped for air, the wind knocked out of me as the creature advanced, its claws outstretched, its jaws open in a silent snarl. This was it. This was how it ended. Section 10, Revelation. But as the creature lunged for the final blow, something unexpected happened. It froze mid-stride, its body convulsing violently. It staggered back, emitting a series of high-pitched shrieks, clutching its head as if in
that's the
pain.
defensive,
I
so I
watched
get
in
thrown
stunned
angry.
silence, my grip loosening on the makeshift weapon. Then, with a blinding flash of light and another ear-splitting shriek, the creature began to transform. Its body, once a grotesque parody of a human being, twisted and contorted, its limbs shrinking, its skin changing color. The stench of blood and decay that had clung to it like a shroud dissipated, replaced by... Was that the smell of cotton candy? The light faded, and I stared in disbelief at what stood before me. Gone was the nightmarish creature that had hunted us, slaughtered my crew. In its place stood a giant purple llama. It was absurd, ludicrous, impossible. And yet, there it was, blinking at me with large, innocent eyes. It even had a little party hat perched jauntily on its head.
Ah, nice hit it.
Section 11, A New Dawn.
Greetings, I apologize for the unfortunate misunderstanding.
My jaw worked, but no words came out. The llama, misinterpreting my silence, continued.
Panicked and just, I
See,
like,
my
had to rush
species,
with
the
for my dear
Flufnar,
life,
are a peaceful
essentially.
race.
It was the...
We travel the cosmos, spreading joy and, well, mostly just joy.
It paused as if expecting a response. I finally found my voice.
You're a giant talking llama from outer space.
Indeed, and I'm afraid my transformation sequence malfunctioned. Instead of assuming my usual form, I believe the term is went a bit haywire.
It was the most
Yeah, one was
absurd
good. That one was
conversation I had
good,
ever
bro.
had. And yet,
That
there was a
was very
strange
hard.
sense
You
of
did them
relief
twice,
washing
like,
over me.
twice?
The Flufnar, despite its initial
second one was
terrifying
real hard to
appearance,
see.
was
There was so many
harmless.
builds.
More than that, it was apologetic, even a little bit embarrassed about the whole situation. And as we talked, as I learned about its travels and its mission of spreading joy, I felt a flicker of hope ignite in my chest. We had lost so much, but perhaps, just perhaps,
fuck.
this was a new beginning.
I'm getting
A chance
too
to build
overzealous.
something
I do
better,
this in games. This is how I
something,
die, Dropfox.
well,
Exactly
more
what I did
joyful.
there, but I'm like...
And so, the last
I swear
surviving
I have
member of the crew of
advantages
the
in some of those.
USS
I
Nostromo found herself embarking on a new adventure, traveling the cosmos with a giant, purple, party-loving llama. It wasn't the ending I expected,
Flip,
but then
what
again,
you should have
in
done is
space
the
no
code
one
was
can hear
yours,
you
so before you
scream
reloaded,
with
flip
laughter.
I was just
Aw.
destroying it and before you came in.
Okay.
Yeah, you interrupted that.
Sorry, another box for you. take your wall back so fast. If you shoot through, you're dead.
I actually just tried to edit out that door. I tried to edit out that door. Didn't even make a door.
Do the three-way.
I did. I tried to do the.
Okay.
It just didn't even make a door. Oh, that should have been it. Oh, my shot. Oh, where? What? When you jump, you get a peek of the head. Oh man, I was waiting to do that.
You got to kill Dropfox. GG, bro.
Yeah, I did. GG's, bro. It was fun. It was a good game type.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be a really good bit of practice for us, eh? Like,
Yeah.
and just
because if you're not relying on the